to turn your DMs into high-ticket clients. If you're someone who has a lot of leads, a lot of attention, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have a lot of money if you're trashing the DMs. Because every single lead that is coming into your DMs already knows the game. They already know the game. Because they were in the DMs of other creators. They were going through they were already going through the sales process of your competitors. They probably were texting with tens of your competitors already. You just don't know it. You gotta understand that people that are in your DMs asking for a lead magnet, wanting that thing, have a problem. Do you think that you're the only solution for a specific thing? I mean, it's most likely not, if you're not the only one doing that thing. And if there's like a lot more other creators, other people that are doing the same thing, they probably were in the DMs of 10 other people. So you gotta keep in mind that you're not the only one who's texting with them in the DMs, who's trying to get them on a call and close them. There's probably like 5 other guys that are trying to do the same thing with them. Most of them is gonna be your competition. So that leads me to the fact that you shouldn't be texting like an NPC in the DMs, doing the same thing that everyone is doing. That's just impossible to get someone on a call while doing the same thing as everyone else. Otherwise, you would have to be very, very fucking fast. You have to be, and they would have to be very interested though. Listen, I get people's lead magnets, and I'm a seller myself, okay? And I'm getting through this shit every single day where people just try to sell me. Or like I try to sell to people. And the most used openers are just so general for any single niche. And the first one is going to be like, what are you struggling with? Just some fucking general question. Or the second one is like, are you already in e-com or just looking to start, Just some simple shit like this. And don't do this. Just make it more personalized or make it just different from what everyone else is doing. And I could go with more and more examples because people are just probably using questions from ChatGPT or I don't know. It's just so overused. And the moment that people come into your DMs, they have a sales guard because they expect you to do exactly what you're going to do. Otherwise, you have to do something else. Be different. Be more natural, human, or funny. You can just crack a joke on them as the opener. That's what I'm doing most of the time, bro. If the lead is not like, yo, I wanna work with you. I just throw a joke. I just throw a joke in the DMs. And it works. Because there's no reason for them to ghost you or think that you're trying to sell them. If you're gonna push too early without any signs that they want to work with you, or if they didn't tell you anything, if they just grab the lead magnet, they're gonna ghost, they're gonna tell you that you're just acting like a salesperson, they're not gonna like you. So you gotta understand that they're just looking for the volume. And what I would do at this point, if someone is just like pushing you off, if someone just doesn't want to text with you, or if someone obviously just doesn't want to work with you, they just don't see the value at this point, okay? So what I would do is, exactly, they're called lead. So what I would do is I would send more volume, more videos, more breakdowns, or whatever that you have that's gonna make them like more warm. That's gonna just lower their guard. Because everyone knows this game. Everyone knows this game of sales. Everyone knows about you're texting with them, and they're not gonna respond if they don't see the volume. So if they're being like too pushy, if they're being like off, just send more volume, send more videos, send more long-form content. If you have some good short-form content, I would send it too. Just send them something and tell them like, yo, this will help you, or whatever that you think will be personalized to them. And once they're gonna be like loaded with content, once they're gonna watch a lot of your videos, if it's applicable for them, they're gonna eventually see a lot of volume in you. When their guard drops, they will eventually see a way how you could help them and how they could possibly work with you. So you're not gonna be the only active person in the conversation anymore, and they're not gonna be just feeling like you're trying to sell them, because the only reason why people feel like this is when they don't see any value and just assume that you're trying to sell to anyone, okay? And then when they are gonna see the value, they will completely just throw up this belief, and they are not gonna see that you're trying to sell them and that you're trying to just get them on a call and help them and close them. Just think about like you getting into someone's DMs, grabbing the lead magnet, and the person is gonna just directly gonna ask you something that everyone else is doing. So that can be like, yo, are you trading already or just looking to start? And you're immediately gonna see how tens of other coaches ask you this question. So you're gonna be like, oh shit, another day in the office, But if the person would send you another 5 high quality videos that are gonna like act as a good type of funnel, you know, you're gonna go through all of them. You're gonna watch like an hour to 2 hours of their content. Now it's gonna be fucking valuable, you know. Now you're gonna see way more. Now you're gonna see way more reasons to text with them, to even like be in the conversation, to respond to their questions. And that's how it goes. One of the signs that elite is warming up, which is a good sign, obviously, and that usually comes after they watch more of your content and they get more nurtured, is when they reply fast. Like, imagine someone who doesn't reply at all. They don't even bother wasting their time on you. But on the other side, if there's someone who's just sending you a bunch of long texts, someone who's replying fast, someone who's just seeing your messages in a second, that's a person that just sees the volume and they don't think that they are wasting time with you anymore. And that's a super good sign, and that's what you should be aware of. If someone is just putting their time into this, they're most likely interested, okay? If someone is putting time into texting with you, into watching these videos, into just replying that, yo, thanks for the lead magnet, they are most likely interested. And if they're asking questions back, they just see that you can give them volume. That doesn't mean that they want to buy your stuff, but that means that they see value in you. That they see you as the authority and they know that you can help them. Either for free or the paid stuff, you know. If you're gonna have a lot of free stuff that you can give them, they're gonna be wondering how can they get the paid stuff. If you immediately see someone who's just replying fast from the first opener that you just send them, I would go up to speed. Because, as I said, they are going through a lot of DMs with your competitors, with like 5 to 10 other people who's also trying to sell them. And if you're the one that's getting their attention, I would just go through the whole conversation as soon as possible. As soon as they reply, I would reply back. Get this DM to be the most efficient, and then get him on a call once everything is cleared off. Because you really want to move with speed if they're interested. If they're cold, if they're pushy, I wouldn't do this at all because they're not gonna reply either way. Or they're gonna reply in like a day, once per day. Something that I wanted to mention is that they're the hardest when they just watch our video. It doesn't matter if it's the first link magnet, if it's the second one, if it's a fifth video that you just send them in the DMs. When they just watch our video, they know exactly who you are. I mean, they probably know it all the time. They're just fresh after watching your content. Obviously, you get it. Please trust me, you really have to put your attention to leads that are replying like super fast. Because these are the leads that eventually can be booked and closed. And they see the volume. And they see that they can put their time into texting with you. And that just leads to one thing, they just don't see you as a waste of time. So if someone is replying fast, if someone is sending long messages, if someone is just responding to you in like a fast way, that is a good sign and you should immediately respond to them. Otherwise, someone else will close them. And I'm saying like 100%. Follow-ups print money. Listen, people are busy. You're not the only one in their DMs. You also sometimes don't reply to someone. It can be on purpose, it doesn't have to be. But follow-ups are just a part of setting and part of the DMs if you're in business. And if you're gonna do bad follow-ups, something that everyone else is using, example, just bumping this, or I don't know, there's a ton of ChatGPT fucking follow-ups, but I don't use them, so I don't even know what are the other ones. This is the thing that I saw with almost everyone. When you try to follow up with someone, do something pretty natural. It doesn't have to be something like just bumping this or... The words doesn't matter. It's just like actually following up. That's the thing that matters, because you just want to get a notification for them. You just want to be the first person that's popping up in their inbox. So just send a check mark or something really natural. You there, still with me, or do something fun. This one, oh my god, ignore this, bro, but this is so good. It works so well, like 10 out of 10 replies. I didn't see a single person that didn't reply to this. Even if they were ghosting for like a month. This one, bro. If you reply in your head, I respect that, but send it on IG, send it on Twitter, send it on LinkedIn, send it on TikTok, anywhere. Send it on IG too. It's like, funny follow-ups work pretty well, but don't send gifts, like, please. As I'm saying, if you're gonna have a follow-up, if you're gonna do something that looks needy in the DMs, just generally in sales, in business, you're just never gonna close and you're never gonna make money. That works in mindset, that works in business, that works in sales, that works everywhere like this. Just never be needy. So if you're gonna follow up, don't say following up, because that directly just tells them that you're just trying to follow up as a salesperson, as someone who's just handling sales right now. They came inbound. They have to see the volume. And once they know that they need your help, you're gonna see it. Don't worry. You gotta just hold authority, not salesman energy, you know. How can a lead feel that they're being sold? If you're gonna do exactly what everyone else is doing, if you're not gonna have strong enough content to show them that you can provide some form of value, if you're gonna have trash lead magnets, and if you're just gonna be bad at sales, they're just gonna feel like they're being sold. And that leads to them being pushy, and they're gonna be off, they're gonna be like a cold lead. The moment when they feel understood, they see the value, they see how you could help them, they need your help, and you're probably pretty natural. You don't act like you just need to sell them. You're just texting with them like a normal human, because that's everything that you should do in the DMs. Don't overcomplicate this. Also, never forget that the lead has to be qualified. That's why you cannot book everyone. Okay, you first qualify the budget, the seriousness and the situation, how serious are they with doing this and that, and then you actually even think about like booking them on a call or getting the money from them. The reality is, if you're gonna be super great in the DMs, if you're gonna be really good, if you're gonna handle everything in the DMs, which usually takes much less time than on a sales call, the sales call is gonna be super easy. It's gonna be an easy sales call, and your close rate is gonna be about 50%. And you probably hear this a lot, but it still actually happens before the call, and that is true. That's in the DMs.